how did this Agorism Journal begin? What was the motivation for the journal?
Yeah, so a close friend of mine, Rachel Rose O'Leary, she's Ireland isn't a place with a huge crypto footprint, but one of the, I guess, more well-known, I'd say, influential people would be Rachel. So she's a developer with a project called DarkFi, along with Amir Taki, who's a pretty legendary early anarchist Bitcoin developer. And the two of them have been working on a project called DarkFi for a couple of years now. So they're building a layer one blockchain. So it's not sort of just like a fly by night token thing you can just build. It's right from the ground up. So they're trying to build a completely anonymous layer that would work for DAO. You could have like a purely anonymous DAO, purely anonymous DeFi, etc. So a very difficult kind of project, but I think it's getting close. But one of the things that their project is interested in is philosophical ideas, right? So they have a on their website. If you go to their website, you'll see these blog entries where they're engaging in discussion about, let's say, theory, politics, which is something you don't see a huge amount of in contemporary crypto projects. In fact, they would probably steer away from this, but in the early Bitcoin culture would have been quite common. And then Amir, coming from that generation, I think he still believes that there should be a political direction for the project. So when Rachel came to me, I think they originally wanted to do a book, and I suggested maybe a journal. So the idea with the journal would be not just to get the message of DarkFi across, but to try generate or regenerate political discussion in the space. To generate political discussion again. So to me, it's kind of strange that we don't have a space that is dedicated to ideas anymore, where people reflect on, say, the difference between solar punk and lunar punk and cypherpunk and all these different terms. They do get used quite a bit. You'll see them on Twitter. They're identifiers, they're shibboleths, they're markers, they're rituals almost, that people kind of say, I'm a regen solar punk, but there isn't a huge amount of reflection on what those things really are. And so I thought that it would be good to have a space for that. And then we were thinking, so the DarkFi project, they're lunar punks, which means that they see I'm probably bamboozling people with some of the terms here, but the lunar punks are maybe privacy oriented people. And instead of just calling themselves cypherpunks, which is maybe a little bit old school, they've introduced this new term, and it also nicely contrasts them with the solar punks, who are very, maybe more optimistic and don't concern themselves as much with the war of attrition against the state. So rather than having it being a lunar punk journal, we were like, okay, we'll have a general, but then we need something to hang it all together. And then I recommended, Konkin's description of agorism is applicable pretty much to any type of crypto idea, and itself doesn't have a following. It doesn't have a huge amount of people. It doesn't really want people to follow it. Like, you're not really supposed to be an agorist. You're supposed to be someone in a counter-economic autonomous zone who believes in something libertarian-ish. But for him, he's more the general describer of this type of activity. So I thought that was a perfect way to frame what's going on. So you could say all the activities, all the solar punk, all the cypherpunk, all the regens, all of those people are agorists in some way, even if they don't identify with that term.